Hey everybody, here's a quick video on how to sign up for your ride time shifts in FSDAP. We're going to start off by going to FSDAP.net and logging in just like we normally would for our lab shifts. And this page should look pretty familiar. We're going to go to the Shifts tab, and instead of selecting Skills and Patient Care, we're going to select Schedule. So let's take a look at the overview of this page before we get into specifics. This is going to list all of the available shifts on each day, and there might be numerous shifts on a given day, so the columns that represent each day might be a little long, so you need to remember to scroll. So for example, if we look at October 15th, we have 4 available shifts on that day. There may be more added. We might have 5, 6, 7, 8 shifts, and each of these columns for each day is going to grow longer. So just remember to scroll down and really view the entire day. So if we look at the specifics of each one of these shifts, right now we're looking at 4 shifts that are available with Madison County EMS. And we have a lot of information in the preview for each shift here. We have a start time of 0700 or 7 o'clock in the morning. And there's no end time, but it says that it's 8 hours long. So this shift is going to end at 3 p.m. or 1500. And it has a name of the shift. The name of this shift is the Madison County Bypass Morning Shift because it is located at the Madison County EMS Bypass Station, which is called Station 1. This is the station that is right on the EKU bypass directly across the street from the football stadium. So that's what all of that information means. And we also see here there's a little man and it says ×2. And that means that there are actually 2 slots available on this shift. So if I sign up for this shift right now, it gets added to my personal FSDAP calendar, and there'd still be room for one more person to sign up as well, and I could potentially even carpool out to that station with a buddy or something like that. But, it just means that there's room enough for 2 people on this particular shift. We have an almost identical looking shift right after it. This one also begins at 7 a.m. It's also 8 hours long. It's the Madison County Station 2 morning shift. The Station 2 of Madison County EMS is in Berea, a little bit down the highway. And then we have afternoon shifts. Madison County Station 1 afternoon, right back at the bypass station, station number 1, but it begins at 1500 or 3 p.m. It's 8 hours long, so it would end at 11 p.m. And then we have the Madison County Station 2 afternoon shift out in Berea as well. Now you can see here that at the bypass station, Station 1, there are slots for 2 people. At the Berea station, there's only a slot for 1 person because we see one little man. And that is simply the policy of Madison County EMS. They have room for 2 people at their bypass station. They do not have room for 2 people at their Berea station. So as more agencies get added to our calendar, you will see that there may be 2, maybe even more slots per person per shift. And so just note those things, and that's what all of these different icons mean. The other thing about this calendar is that if we go all the way back up here to the top of the screen, we see this gray bar that says Filter. If we click on this, we can actually examine some different sites. I'm going to send out emails to all of you when new sites get added. So right now we have Madison County plugged in, and we have this defaulted to show all available sites, and we also have it defaulted to show available sites for all 3 certification levels. What I would recommend doing when you view this calendar is to make sure that you are selecting shifts available to EMT, as you can see that I just did there, and make sure that you're viewing either all sites or if you want to just see one specific location, you'd select it from this list. So if I wanted to see just the shifts available at Madison County EMS because I didn't plan on traveling to any other county, I could just put that filter on and I would only see the shifts available here locally. But if I wanted to see shifts available at Estill County EMS, for example, that's another one of the agencies where we're going to be riding, I would have to select it and put it in. And once I start screening my sites by location, I can make the mistake of maybe not seeing everything that's available to me. So that's how you use this feature, but you may want to just go ahead and delete the specific sites out of this filter. Make sure that you're seeing all 35 sites. But if you just filter it to the EMT level, that'll show you everything that's available to you as an EMT student. All right, so we'll go ahead and click go and get back to the screen. All right, so here's what it looks like to actually sign up for a shift. I'm going to go up here to this example shift. It's at Eastern Kentucky University Contrived Experience, and I see that there's room enough for one person to sign up. My schedule is open. I'm available from 7 to 3 p.m. to go into the lab for my fake shift here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it, and I get a little bit of information. I get an address. You'll see an address pop up for each of the EMS stations and each of the agencies that we have plugged in here. And my screen looks a little bit different as an instructor, but instead of a sign or drop button, you will see a button that basically says, sign up or register or something like that, a button to click that actually signs you up. So once you click that, then this is going to get added to your personal calendar. Right, so you'll see that this changes on your screen to show you the shifts that you personally have signed up for. But you can also go back up here to the filter and bar, and you can use these to screen out the available shifts and declutter your screen. So let's say that you have signed up for 4 shifts at Madison County EMS across different days on this calendar. I can turn off available shifts, and then my calendar would simply be limited to what is included in the filters under chosen and assigned shifts. So right now I see all these different students in the program at the EMT level, and I can again just kind of filter this out. So first I'm going to select EMT, and then down here in students I could make sure that only my name is selected in the filter, and that way I can limit the clutter. Right, so that's how you use the FSDAP calendar. It's fairly straightforward. You pick the shifts that you want. You make sure that there's enough room at that station for you by the 2-person or 1-person icons. You click on the shift, you sign up for the shift. Now, there's a couple of other features real quick that I think you'll find pretty handy. You can actually subscribe to this calendar. If we click the subscribe button here, we can give our calendar a name, like I can name it FSDAP calendar, or I can name it EMT ride time. And then once I click this generate link button, it's going to generate a URL that I can then plug in to whatever calendar I'm using. I personally use Google Calendar for most of my calendar needs, and so I can go into Google, I can go to the calendar subscription feature of my calendar, and I can just plug in that URL, and now it's going to suck the data from FSDAP into my Google Calendar so I can see on my phone what I've signed up for. If you're using your student email account, you would be using Outlook's calendar subscription feature, but the process is pretty much the same. Another thing that you can do is you can email yourself a copy of this calendar. So again, I could name this EMT ride time, and I can send myself a PDF attachment. I can send myself a recurring email that reminds me what I've signed up for and when, and I can use these different features in this window to go ahead and set up that feature